Disclaimer. The video serves informational and entertainment purpose only. The content is considered speculative and should not be treated as confirmed fact. We encourage you to conduct your research and form your conclusion. Hollywood is on fire, and Sylvester Stallone just threw gasoline on the flames. While Disney's drowning in billion-dollar flops and awkward reboots, Stallone, the ultimate underdog, stepped up to the mic and said what everyone else in Hollywood is too scared to say out loud. And he didn't whisper it. He roared. With one viral clip from his hit show Tulsa King, Stallone didn't just criticize the new Hollywood, he declared war on it. And at the center of the blast radius, Disney's cursed Snow White remake and the actress who's become the internet's favorite punching bag, Rachel Zegler. Because this isn't just about one bad movie. This is about the soul of an industry, the fracture between the old school legends who built Hollywood and the new wave that's rewriting it, one awkward reboot at a time. And Stallone? He's not going quietly. He's dragging PR-trained execs, sanitized scripts, and Hollywood's obsession with performative morality straight into the spotlight, with fists clenched. Meanwhile, Disney's fairy tale dreams are collapsing in real time. And the backlash? Oh, it's brutal. So what really happened? What did Stallone say that sent shockwaves across every studio lot in LA? Why is Rachel Zegler now seen as the face of everything going wrong in modern Hollywood? And is this the moment that breaks Disney? Stay with us, because once we show you the full picture, you won't look at Hollywood the same way again.
It's terrible. But I mean, you took that character up, down, sideways, and everyone loves you. And the nuance, I never know when she's acting. It's like, damn, are we really running?
It started with a smirk, a quiet moment on Stallone's hit show Tulsa King, just another gritty scene in a world of gangsters and power plays, until suddenly, it wasn't just fiction anymore. Stallone turned straight to the camera, looked us dead in the eye, and dropped a line that felt like a sucker punch to modern Hollywood. You know what my pronoun is? Time's up. Boom! That line didn't just echo, it detonated. In under 10 seconds, Stallone did what entire networks of anonymous critics, fed-up fans, and angry Reddit threads couldn't do in years. He cut through the noise, the filters, the fragile PR masks, and said what a massive chunk of the audience had been thinking but no one in power dared to admit. And the internet? Oh, it exploded. TikTok couldn't clip it fast enough. X, formerly Twitter, turned it into a war zone. YouTubers turned it into thumbnails. And Instagram lit up like it was New Year's Eve. People weren't just reacting, they were feeling it. Some called it a bold truth bomb. Others, a cheap shot. But one thing's certain, everyone heard it. Because in that one moment, Stallone stopped being just an actor. He became the voice of a cultural tremor. A man who's lived through 5 decades of Hollywood, now standing at the edge of the industry and saying, "You've lost your mind." And baby, the aftershocks had only just begun. You see, Sylvester Stallone isn't just talking. He's firing back at the very system that made him a legend, and now he's watching it crumble under its own weight. This isn't some PR stunt or a desperate grab for relevance. This is a man who's walked through the fire of Hollywood for decades, who carved his name into the walls with blood, sweat, and box office dominance. And now, he's looking around at the industry he helped build and saying, what the hell happened? Stallone's rebellion didn't start with Tulsa King. That line about pronouns, that was just the match. The gasoline's been building for years. He's watched as storytelling took a backseat to agenda, as characters became checkboxes, and as studios became too afraid to say anything that might, God forbid, offend someone online. And Stallone? He's had enough. Rocky wouldn't be made today. The Godfather wouldn't be made today. Those weren't throwaway comments. That was Stallone telling us, Hollywood has lost its guts. The Stallone we see today isn't softened by fame or silenced by the rules. He's the same guy who gave us Rambo. The same guy who fought for every inch of screen time back when grit mattered more than virtue signaling. And now, as Disney stumbles over its own message and Snow White turns into a PR dumpster fire, Stallone's over here, building his own empire, one unfiltered story at a time. Because while the new Hollywood tries to play it safe, the old lion just started to roar. Now let's talk about the other side of this firestorm. Because while Stallone was lighting up Hollywood with old school truth bombs, Disney, they were drowning in their own mess. And at the center of it all, Snow White. Not the fairy tale you grew up with. No dwarves in a cozy little cottage. No charming prince saving the day. Instead, we got a new, empowered version. And with it came the biggest backlash Disney's seen in years. Rachel Zegler, cast as the new Snow White, stepped into the spotlight and immediately became the face of fan outrage. Not because of her looks, not because of her talent, but because of her words. In interview after interview, she mocked the original movie, dismissed Prince Charming, and said this Snow White doesn't want love, she wants power. Sounds modern, right? Well, fans weren't buying it. Across Reddit, Twitter, X, and TikTok, people started asking, why is Disney tearing down its own legacy? Some even said Zegler looked like she hated the role, like she was embarrassed to play a princess at all. The classic fairy tale was being turned into a statement, but it wasn't empowering. It was alienating. And suddenly, what should have been Disney's next billion-dollar reboot became a punchline, a controversy magnet, a PR nightmare wrapped in glitter and green screens. And as Stallone stood tall in his chaos-fueled empire, Disney, they were scrambling just to keep the castle from collapsing. Rachel Zegler wasn't always the villain in this story. Just a year ago, she was the fresh-faced newcomer, Hollywood's golden girl, plucked from obscurity, cast in West Side Story by none other than Spielberg himself, a rising star with the world at her feet. But fame in 2024 doesn't come with applause. It comes with magnifying glasses, record buttons, and zero mercy. The moment she opened her mouth about Snow White, it was like striking a match in a room full of gasoline. She didn't just say she was reimagining the role. She mocked the original story, called it creepy, laughed about how this Snow White doesn't dream of love, and basically said Prince Charming was canceled. Fans, especially Disney loyalists, felt betrayed, like their childhood was being mocked by someone who didn't even like the story she was starring in. And Zegler? She didn't back down. She doubled down, over and over. Each interview, a new wildfire, each quote, a fresh round of backlash. The memes, the stitches on TikTok, even longtime Disney defenders were like, what is she doing? It wasn't long before Rachel Zegler stopped trending as a star and started trending as a warning sign. She went from a symbol of Hollywood's bright future to the face of everything fans hate about modern reboots. And in the middle of it all, she stood alone, still talking, while the internet built the gallows. If you thought the Snow White storm couldn't get any wilder, enter Peter Dinklage. The Emmy-winning Game of Thrones icon stepped up and called Disney out, saying the idea of 7 dwarfs living in a cave was backward. And suddenly, Disney, already reeling from fan backlash, panicked. What did they do? They scrapped the dwarfs. That's right, one of the most iconic elements of Snow White, gone. Replaced by a mix of CGI creatures and diverse companions that no one recognized or asked for. But here's the twist. Nobody was happy. Traditional fans, furious that Disney caved. Progressive voices, confused by the half measure. Even casual moviegoers, just baffled. It became the perfect storm of trying to please everyone and pleasing no one. Online forums lit up. Why call it Snow White if there's no dwarfs? Why cast someone who hates the story? Who even is this remake for? Disney, in its attempt to avoid offense, managed to alienate every side of the aisle. And poor Peter Dinklage, he didn't ask for his comments to spark a production overhaul, but that's exactly what happened. And now, the remake stands as a bizarre Frankenstein. Snow White without Snow White's magic, dwarfs without dwarfs, and a studio exec somewhere, sweating through their designer suit, wondering how it all went so wrong. While Disney was busy scrambling for damage control, Sylvester Stallone was out here doing what he does best, telling stories with blood, grit, and no apologies. Tulsa King didn't just arrive. It stormed in like a bat out of hell. No virtue signaling, no hollow messages, just unfiltered, old-school storytelling, the kind Hollywood used to be proud of. And people felt it. You could see it in the fan reactions, hear it in the dialogue, and feel it in every scene Stallone dominated. Characters bled, they fought, they made ugly human decisions. No committee meetings or sensitivity edits in sight. But here's what makes it even wilder. Behind the scenes, a casting agency walked off the set, claiming that background actors were being mocked. Paramount launched an investigation, and Stallone said nothing. No PR statement, no polished apology. Because he doesn't play the game. He doesn't have to. He's not here to appease the Twitter crowd. He's here to tell the truth, even when it's messy. And guess what? Audiences showed up. Tulsa King became a breakout hit, not in spite of the controversy, but because of the honesty. While Disney sanitizes every frame with fear, Stallone turns the camera on what we're really afraid of and lets it burn. This isn't just a Stallone story anymore. What we're witnessing is a seismic shift, a deep fracture in Hollywood's shiny facade. And Stallone, he's just the spark that lit the match. But behind him, there's a rising tide. You've got voices like Mel Gibson, still controversial, but unapologetically loud. Matthew McConaughey, drifting farther from the Hollywood script. Even comedians and creators who once played it safe, now questioning if the industry even speaks for them anymore. It's not about being anti-woke or clinging to the past. It's about authenticity, about reclaiming stories that mean something, that don't read like corporate checklists or marketing stunts. People are tired of being lectured instead of entertained, tired of reboots that erase the soul of what came before, tired of being told what to feel, who to cheer for, and what's acceptable. Stallone didn't just fire shots. He opened the floodgates. And now, Hollywood's split is showing in full color. One side, polished, performative, and petrified of backlash. The other, rough, risky, and real. This isn't a one-man rebellion. It's a cultural wake-up call. And whether the studios want to admit it or not, the audience is choosing sides. So now the dust is settling. But what's left standing? Hollywood's mask has slipped. And everyone, from the execs in Beverly Hills to fans watching from their couches, knows it. Sylvester Stallone didn't just ruffle feathers. He ripped the roof off the nest. And now other creators are looking around and asking, can we speak freely again? The truth? Studios are scared. Behind closed doors, PR teams are scrambling. Scripts are being rewritten mid-production. Executives are whispering about tone adjustments and public image realignment because they know this isn't going away. Audiences are done being talked down to. And as for Stallone, he's not backing down. He's doubling down. And Tulsa King's success proves it. There's a massive hunger for stories that hit hard, speak truth, and don't apologize. Meanwhile, Disney's fumble with Snow White, it's become a cautionary tale, not just about casting or woke versus traditional, but about what happens when you forget the story in service of the message. So what happens now? We're in uncharted territory. The power is shifting. And for the first time in a long time, the audience isn't just watching the movie, they're rewriting it. Because Hollywood thought it was untouchable. But now, the crowd has the mic, and they're not afraid to use it. And that's the tea for today, my little gossip gremlins. If you enjoyed this drama buffet, don't forget to hit that like button like it's your ex's new partner's Instagram. Aggressively and with zero shame. Beauty. Subscribe to Fame Files so you never miss a single scandal, meltdown, or red carpet disaster. I'm literally serving up hot gossip every single day, even if my Wi-Fi begs me to stop. And listen, be a doll and tap that bell too, okay? Because your girl Macy's got bills to pay, celeb egos to roast, and a grocery cart full of overpriced almond milk that won't buy itself. Shopping cart money. So until next time, stay nosy, stay fabulous, and remember, I spill it so you don't have to sip in silence. Bye.